always pretty hard getting started on something like this, especially when it is your very first attempt. A couple of things I just want to make clear from the start. Usually people who make these short videos are experts on something, or they think they are. I am an expert on absolutely nothing. The world passes me by and just leaves me in a permanent state of confusion. I don't want to talk about important things. We've got enough people doing that. I don't want to talk to any particular generation, although as it's pretty obvious, the man with the scythe isn't far away. But there are many things that do cross the age barrier, and often the good things are destroyed by, unfortunately, the older ones saying it's not the same, or it's not as good as it used to be when I was a kid. Well, that's a lot of rubbish. Many things are just as good, if not better. So, as in all of history, you take the good with the bad. Now, I've been told to start with something where I can't get into too much trouble or upset too many people. So I'll start with something that annoys me every day, and I'm sure that it annoys many others because it's so useless, and that's these morning shows on television. They call themselves, I don't know, breakfast information shows or whatever it is. Primarily they were there originally to give you the news, and of course sport. How can we forget that? But the point is that no longer exists. There is no news apart from a bit of local stuff which is fitted in for about 30 to 40 seconds between a lot of inane chatter by very inane people and cash giveaways and what AFL player's broken a pinky finger. All that's bad enough. But the worst part is it's no longer for the audience. They're having a ball, all these little chirpy parrot people, mostly female these days. You got a desk, you got 4 or 5 people sitting behind it, and the conversation might start with a news item like man falls off building or cat rescues fireman from oh no, it's the other way around, isn't it? Fireman rescues cat from tree. The fact of the matter is they're just having a ball themselves. They're having a little tea party. They talk about the most inane stuff in their own lives and what's happening around them, which is of no interest to anybody. And they over-talk each other constantly. So all you get is this babble of mainly female voices, but there are a couple of men there who are throwing in as much rubbish as the rest of them. The person at the other end of the lens, like you and I, we're no longer important in any way, shape or form. They forget about us. We just have to do our thing as much as we possibly can. 3 hours of this, who knows? There's something else that you should note about these chirrupy people, most of them are there for a long time of course, is that some of them, not all, are on as much money per year, or let me put it another way, they earn 5 times as much as the master of a huge cargo container ship tanker crossing the planet every day. And the responsibility these masters have, and they're both male and female these days, don't get me wrong, and the women are just as good as the men. I'm not going to detract from that in any way, shape or form. They have responsibility for month after month after month, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a ship worth $500 million, cargo worth $300 million, and the lives of 50 odd crew. And they get 1/5 of what one of these chirpy little people get, pointing their faces towards the lens occasionally for a giggle and saying, and now over to Martha, who will put you on to then, now over to Jane, who's outside number 10 Downing Street. Give me strength. If they were inside 10 Downing Street, I'd be more impressed. But they're not. So anyway, that's my take on morning television. They're filling up 3 hours. They have no idea why. Entertainment value, maybe 1 out of 10. News value, 0 out of 10. Annoyance value, 10 out of 10. I might be accused of being bent and twisted because I'm not mobile anymore, and you could get the impression that I'm bitter and twisted, but it's not that at all, especially in winter as it is now. I can look out of a window and see people shivering themselves to work and just turn the electric blanket up a notch, have another cup of coffee and read a book. I almost said and watch television, but that's not going to happen. So, my first attempt, I'm sorry, it's not very good. I just wanted to mention something that does annoy me greatly. There is no reason for it. I'd much rather see reruns of Bugs Bunny than this lot. There's not a lot of difference in the end between Bugs Bunny and the parrot people, as I call them. I'll try and do better with the next one, which will probably have more content. Say my take on the police these days, or let's go straight to the jugular and talk about political correctness. Okay. Have a good day. I won't say have a nice day because that's American, and you really don't want me to get started on America. So I'll just say good day.